take pictures of damn landscape, damn landscape, landscape. What the fuck? Oh, sorry.
I am more and more convinced that luck is a result of either unintentional or intentional preparation to be ready for whatever opportunity presents itself. And I guess I shouldn't say luck as so much as people perceive as luck when someone gets lucky, when they I have learned that it's simply the ability, or I believe, I should say, that it's simply the ability to take advantage of the opportunity when it arrives. I also think people go to great lengths to ensure those opportunities do arrive. And I think oftentimes what happens is the same opportunity will present itself, or is available, or is out there, if you will. And it's only the person that can seize that opportunity when it happens, that is prepared for that opportunity, that is practiced, that is ready for that opportunity. With that said, I mentioned, well, you won't know I mentioned it until you see the video. Well, the other thing that has come up too, or the other thing that I heard recently that kind of struck home with me, or that I heard struck home with me, is that Will Smith, I don't know why I didn't follow him on Instagram before recently, but it's recently started following him on Instagram. And he said to me said to me, that's funny, said on his account, I felt like he was talking right to me, said on his account that practice is, he said that everybody fails, and those that are successful fail more often, or have failed more often, and he kept going in spite of that. And that's kind of what got the wheels turning about. What people see as lucky, Will Smith's lucky, actors are lucky, singers are lucky. It's really because they have tried and failed and been ready for when those combination of events come along, and they can seize them and take advantage, and their life takes off in a way that it did. But he said that you're going to fail. I've said it numerous times. I've said it numerous times on many of my videos even before this, that you're going to fail. You might as well get to failing, fail forward. Fail often. But Will Smith said that practice is controlled failure. So you practice something, you fail at it, that's controlled failure. You know you're likely going to fail, and then it's in an environment, it's a time you're choosing, and you do it and you fail. So anyway, I'm rambling on a bit, but with that said, I went out yesterday and I recorded myself, and I said in the one video recently that I'm gonna start using this rig I have here more often, which, by the way, I thought to myself, I have this light that I bought one time. Why aren't I using that? Now I'm using that. And that's kind of the example of what I mean, is that little by little, I was like, oh, why didn't I use that? And I found out yesterday that I had the focus on wrong, and I feel like it's better today, or I found it in that one video too. So I've decided whether anyone gets looked at it, whether it gets looked at or not, I'm going to edit this video. I'm going to practice. I'm going to fail forward. It's a mess. I'm laughing because it's on my computer there now in front of me, and it's a mess, but I fail, look at it, fail, try again, fail. I learned that enunciation is difficult in some places. I've learned why people have those, what I think they're called scrolls on their microphones. I've learned the difference between recording with this and using my iPhone. So there's these little things and you learn, and I've learned how to insert subtitles. So who knows when that moment comes along, that I get what I want out of life, that I make my living through some creative means, I'll be ready for it. I'll know how all this works. So I'm going to muddle through. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to post it regardless.
Headed out to Columbia today to take pictures of damn landscape and eat bone marrow burgers. And by that I mean there's a trail that has a dam on it that I'm hoping to capture, and there is a place called Grill Marks in Columbia, South Carolina, that has a burger that includes bone marrow in it. So really exciting day. And in a moment, put up or shut up, I've decided to either start filming with this camera, my Rebel, or get rid of it. So good luck to anybody watching, and we'll see how this looks.
The name of the park I went to is Riverfront Park. This was the beginning of the trail in the direction I went. Very pretty structure, a lot of professional photographers out there taking pictures. The next building was in the same area. I'm actually standing outside of it.
The building doesn't quite look this way. I did some edits to it, but very pretty. Like I said, a lot of professional photographers out there using this as a backdrop. Very easy to get to. At the end of the trail, I wouldn't call it a dam. I would call it a lockhead, if you would. It was about 2.5 miles down. The trail was really flat, really easy to use. A little disappointing overall in the scenery and the pictures it gave up to, but certainly worth going.
So far today has been a success, but I will admit I'm not doing this as often as I thought because it's pretty crowded today and I don't like to talk to a camera in front of people. Maybe something I have to work on. I'll try to tag where this place is, but long story short, it is beautiful and the hike is worth it and pretty nice day.
So like I said, I was a little disappointed with the scenery on the trip, or on the trail. It really wasn't a lot of good compositions. The light was in the wrong place. I remember about halfway through that I had my lens ball that I recently purchased and broke it out for this shot. Pretty happy with this shot. I really got to try to remember to use it more often. I think it adds some interest when there might not be otherwise.
So I just came up on this caution tape and I came up from the other side. So now I'm wondering, did I just enter or did I just leave where I shouldn't have been entering? It really should be more clear. So I haven't still yet decided if I'm actually going to do anything with this, but let's pretend like I am. Walked the canal in Columbia today, as I mentioned, or I may have mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned or not. All in all, not a bad day. I have found out I am not comfortable enough to talk to this camera when people are around, and it was fairly crowded today. And it was a little brisk, which you can probably tell by the color of my skin right now. I did learn a valuable lesson today, though, because for a while now, I've been struggling to get sharp images. And I'm really not complaining, though, because I read a little more, I studied, I kind of know more about a camera now than I've ever known. Wait. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that cat? He's staring at me. He's freaking me out. All right, it wasn't freaking me out. So I've been struggling to get good images, and I couldn't figure out why, and I thought I'm doing a lot. You know, I don't have the most high-end lens, but I got a pretty decent lens, and I've seen good images with people that have the same lens I do. But I figured it out today. So there's a little button, right? Wait. I don't know. You can't see it. Anyway, there's a little button there called stabilizer. I knew it was there. What I didn't know is where somewhere along the way it went from on to off. So today, I put it back on. So hopefully that'll make a difference.
By the way, this was the first photograph I took after moving that button. I don't know if it really made a difference or not. Couldn't hurt.
Okay, that's really all I gotta say for now. I'm headed to the burger place. Yay, hope it goes good.
I did go to Grill Marks at the end of the day. I certainly didn't record myself. That again, it was uncomfortable. Well, you've seen it by now because I edited it, and you've seen now that it was uncomfortable recording myself in front of people. But I did not record in Grill Marks, but I did go there. Columbia's downtown's a little tough for parking, and I don't understand how I understand how it's laid out, but I don't like how it's laid out. But Grill Marks was pretty good. The burger that I ordered was the Bonafide. It supposedly had brie and bone marrow on it. And long story short, as you'll see, is that it had a piece of bone that it was supposed to be the marrow, and it had this tiny fork, and somehow I was supposed to dig the marrow out of that, but it was rock hard. I mean, there was probably a dropper full of marrow, so it was kind of a fail as far as I'm concerned. And I probably should have talked about the milkshake first, because it's first in the pictures, but it was interesting. I love doing new things. So I have now had a float with Jack Daniels and Pepsi in it. That was interesting. It was okay. It was a little weird tasting Jack Daniels with vanilla ice cream. I'm not saying it was bad. It didn't help at all that it was freezing yesterday. Oh, it wasn't freezing. Wow, how dramatic. That it was cold yesterday. So doing a milkshake in winter was a little weird, but it was worth having. But all in all, like I said, not a bad day. I plan to edit this. I've learned some things. I continue to learn some things. We'll see. I'm hell-bent on either using this camera or getting rid of this camera, but probably end up going to using it. So I'm not sure if anybody actually sees this, but if you did and you made it all the way through, I completely appreciate it. And I'll see you soon.